The smoke is rising, and the truth is buried under a mountain of official statements, because they think if they keep the footage on a loop in the mainstream, we'll stop asking how the fire started. It's not how this works. Happy Monday, everybody. Maybe not so happy Monday. I guess it depends on what part of the world you're living in, whether you're getting bombed or not. But today is March 2nd, 2026. First up on today's bill of lading, we're going to go over the energy grid under attack. According to reports from Argus Media and Al Jazeera, Saudi Aramco's 550,000 barrel a day Ras Tanura refinery has been forced to shut down after an Iranian drone strike made direct impact. And we'll show you some of that later on today. Simultaneously, as reported by the Khalij Times, Qatar Energy has suspended all LNG production at the Ras Laffan after targeted military attacks as well. So it looks like, hey, you got to be a good neighbor to get a good neighbor. If you're a sellout, you're going to get what you got coming to you. At least that's how the Iranians see it. I think the way they're looking at it is, this is a burning ship, the Middle East. And the fire started from the inside. So everybody on board's got to get a taste of this. You know, they're not just going to let it go this time around. They realize that all of their neighbors are sold out. They've all sold out to America and the Israelis. So it's like, hey, if we're the last ones standing on business, let's stand on business. Next up, we're going to cover the friendly fire lie, which is an interesting one. According to Air and Space Force magazines, 3 US F-15 Strike Eagles went down over Kuwait today, while CENTCOM and chairman of the Joint Chiefs General Dan Kane claimed all 6 crew are safe, thank God, and it was friendly fire. Apparently we shot down our own F-15s that cost $100 million each in Kuwait. Very, very interesting. Also, it seems as if the death toll of Americans in this conflict has gone up to 4. Apparently, one of our soldiers had succumbed to his injuries that were sustained in one of the bombing campaigns. God bless. Those families are going to have to hear that news. So let's keep them in our prayers. And let's remember to focus and direct our anger at the people who are putting our boys in uniform directly in the path of danger. Because there's somebody that's going to have to pay the cost for this. Whether it be in blood, whether it be in prison time, however. Anyways, intelligence from Reuters confirms that the commercial traffic through the Strait of Hormuz has effectively collapsed. This is something a lot of people have been warning about before the war started, was a possibility. Iran stated, they claimed that they would shut down the Strait of Hormuz, and now they're doing it. 4 tankers, including the Athenova and the MKD Viome, are ablaze or completely disabled right now. And war risk insurance has completely been withdrawn. People are not insuring any ships carrying oil or cargo that are currently going through the Strait of Hormuz. I need you guys to realize what that means. You often hear people throw out the figure 20% to 25% of the world's oil traverses through the Strait of Hormuz. In reality, it's 40% of the world's usable oil. So it's a much bigger percentage than people give credit for. And that's something that we cannot forget because it affects all of us. Next up, you guys, this is an interesting one. It looks like President Macron of France has ordered the Charles de Gaulle aircraft carrier to the East Mediterranean. They want a piece of the war. And what they're saying is they're sending their Navy and their aircraft carrier to reinforce the US and Israel because apparently a French military hangar was struck in the UAE. So they want to get it back in blood. Everybody wants to get it back in blood right now. This is not a good look for anybody at the moment at all. We're going to go over all of this. We're going to go over all of it in a little more detail and more, so stay tuned.
These white lines keep on rolling out. We carry every heavy load and push away the doubt. And somehow Down this long dusty road, we find a better truth in the stories told, and we carry this together. Yeah, we carry this together.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters. I'm your host, Big Robs. Welcome to the driver's seat, where whatever the world throws at us, we carry the load together. Hey, yo, I'm real glad you guys could join me today, family. For real, we all got to take a seat for this one. Get comfortable, because we got a lot of ground to cover. Before we put this rig in gear, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, leave a comment down below to help us beat the algorithm, and subscribe so you never miss a shipment of the truth. We need to stick together while the world tries to pull us apart. Our first stop today is going to be that hit on Saudi Aramco and the Qatar LNG Center. According to industry insiders at Argus Media, the Ras Tanura refinery, which handles 16% of Saudi Arabia's total capacity, is officially offline after being struck by an Iranian drone early Monday morning. But the hit to the supply chain goes deeper. It seems a lot of sources are reporting that the Qatar Energy has ceased all production of liquefied natural gas as well. So, what and why does it matter to you? Look, I don't care if you drive a semi-truck like me or a sedan. This hits you at the pump and in your utility bills tomorrow. Brent crude oil is already swinging wildly towards the $82 a barrel mark. When the two biggest energy exporters in the region go dark at the same time, it's not a coincidence. It's a decapitation strike on the world global economy. They want you broke, cold, immobile. It feels like a planned takedown to force us into the Great Reset energy crisis while we all freeze in the dark. Next up, we're going to be talking about the 3 F-15s that have been shot out of the sky. You heard that right. $100 million apiece. F-15s, 3 of them, shot out of the sky. According to a statement from U.S. Central Command, 3 F-15E Strike Eagles were mistakenly shot down by Kuwait air defenses. All during the same mission, our ally shoots 3 of our F-15 fighter jets down. And the Pentagon is emphasizing that the crews were ejected safely, so everything's okay. There's nothing to see here. Don't worry. Our people are good. They want to avoid the public outrage. While CBS News confirms that the U.S. total service member death toll in this conflict has now risen to 4. And if you ask me, that's 4 too many. If you're wondering what those F-15 fighter jets look like when they're birds without wings, here, check it out. And if you're sitting at home watching your favorite NBA team, you're probably thinking, why does this matter to me? Well, this is how they prep us for the draft, family. They downplay the tech failures or the fact that our defense grid is failing, all to keep us from seeing how vulnerable we really are. And when they need us sent out, it's, hey, we're just gonna try to make life better for you here because you can see the war is really affecting us. Now go fight for your country. They're losing control of the skies, and they're using our sons and daughters as pawns, while they call it friendly fire. And when they do, just know they're trying to keep the anger focused away from the fact that we're in a hot war that we weren't prepared for, and that was completely unnecessary. But I digress. Next up, we're going to talk about the Strait of Hormuz. Many analysts predicted that Iran would shut down the Strait of Hormuz if we were to attack. And it's official. They've done it. According to maritime intelligence, the world's most vital oil export route has officially collapsed. At least 4 tankers have been struck, including the Athenova, which the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or the IRGC, openly claimed was targeted for acting in unison with America. They're hitting us where it hurts. Also, shipping data from Vessel Finder shows hundreds of ships now drifting in the Gulf of Oman, refused entry or too afraid to move. They're anchored, and they're not taking any chances. That is very important because it affects us all. And here, look, we even got a couple clips of some of these ships that have actually been struck on fire. Check it out. What I understand here is that if those ships don't move, the shelves go bare. We've seen this before, but this time it's highly explosive instead of a virus. As Reuters notes, insurance for these ships has basically vanished. Nobody's covering anything. And you need to look at what's in your pantry right now, because that may be your last soon enough. This is a deliberate strangling of the global supply, designed to control who eats and who starves. Which side are you on? That's the important question here. Which side are you on? That's just something to think about. For our last topic, we're going to go over two things. One that I think America didn't plan for, and the second that I'm fairly certain they knew was going to happen. First on the list, according to the Sunday Guardian, Ayatollah Ali Reza Arafat has been named the interim supreme leader of Iran following the death of the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. This guy, he's a hardline insider. And at the same time, French broadcaster BFM TV confirmed that the Charles de Gaulle carrier group is abandoning its Baltic mission, which is, you know, what was happening with Russia. And it looks like they're heading to the Mediterranean after French interests in the UAE got hit. So, speaking of that second thing that we were pretty sure would happen, it's the fact that these American vassal states or proxies like the UK, Poland, Germany, France, one or more was bound to come to the defense of Israel and America soon enough. And it looks like we're running out of interceptors quicker than we anticipated. It's only been 2 days, and we're already talking about depletion numbers. You guys, we're literally watching World War III being built piece by piece. When the French start moving their carriers, the diplomacy is over. This matters because a global war is the ultimate distraction from the collapsing economy at home, or pedophiles running our government. They'd rather burn the world down than let us see who's actually pulling the strings. I like to make us think a little bit. So we need to ask ourselves very important questions like, I don't know, are we okay with that? Are we? Anyways, that's all the freight for today, family. Thank you for riding shotgun with me. And remember, no matter how heavy the world gets, we carry the load together. Before you hop out that cab, I want to hear from you. What was your favorite part of today's show? Which of these topics do you think is going to mess with your day-to-day life the most? Is it the gas prices or the empty shelves? And if you got any leads on anything we should work on next, drop them in the comments below and let me know. We'll do our best to get to them. I'm your host, Big Robs, signing out from the driver's seat.